Hey guys, we are going to do the next chapter in Numbed. Now, this chapter is 6 times 2 divided by 4 minus 1, but you'll notice the parentheses. 6 times 2 is 12, and 4 minus 1 is 3. And then we can say 12 divided by 3 equals 4. So, chapter 4. So, I'd like you to come up with other ways that you could find 4 in a 2-step, or in this case, it's a 3-step problem. So 2 or 3-step problem. See if you can come up with 3 other ways and put that into your Knowledge's Power log. Or Google Doc it to me. Whatever's best for you. All right, chapter 4. Like all mothers, my mom has an instant reaction to crying. "What's wrong, dear?" she asked, kneeling by Benedict and putting an arm around him. "I forgot my hat," Benedict said. He sniffed and wiped his nose with the back of his hand. His face was all scrunched up, but I didn't see any tears. Mom glanced around the food court. "I'm sure it's here somewhere. If not, we can check the lost and found. Do you remember which stores you went to?" Then she frowned and said, "Wait, you weren't wearing a hat when I picked you up at school." It amazed me how mom seemed to notice the unimportant stuff like that. "That's because I left it at the museum today," Benedict said. "Can we go there?" Wow, I guess he'd really left his hat there. But until he realized we needed to go back to the museum, he didn't seem to care. "Don't worry. We'll go right there. I hope they're still open." We followed Mom to the car. She drove us to the museum and pulled up by the front entrance. I was glad to see the place hadn't closed yet. "I'll be right back," Benedict said as he slid off the seat. "Come on, Logan." I followed him in. We still had our badges from that morning. We ducked under the rope with the restricted experimental area sign. We went down the stairs and found Dr. Thagoras in his lab. He was attaching wheels to the bottom of his robot. Benedict's hat was sitting on the stool right next to him. I wrinkled my nose. The smell of burning plastic was still pretty strong. Dr. Thagoras didn't look up. I cleared my throat. "Well, hello again," he said. "Are you still there? Still here? That's wonderful. There's so much to see upstairs." "Well, we did leave, but then we came back." I pointed at the robot. "That thing, it numbed us." The robot turned its head towards me, but it didn't raise a claw. I got ready to duck just in case. "Numbed?" Dr. Thagoras asked. "Yeah, numbed," Benedict shouted as he snatched his hat. "We can't add thanks to that stupid thing." "Stupid?" the robot said. "I'm stupid? I can add. Can you add? Who's stupid?" "I know 9 plus 8 equals 17. 17 is a prime number. 9 is a square made of 3 times 3. 8 is a cube made of 2 times 2 times 2. I love numbers. When you take 9 times 8, you get 72. Add the 7 to the 2, you get 9 again. That's awesome. Take 9 times 9 and you get 81. Add 8 to the 1 and you get 9. Super awesome. Hold on, Dr. Thagoras turned off the robot. Cypher does tend to go off on tangents. He chuckled, as if this were some kind of joke. And he said, "Tangents again." I relaxed as Cypher's head dropped forward, because nothing it said about the numbers made any sense to me, and because now that it was turned off, it definitely can't zap us. "This is serious," Dr. Thagoras said. "You boys are telling me you've lost the ability to do just simple addition?" "Yep," I said. "I don't even know what 1 plus 1 is." "I couldn't even figure out how to buy a gooey bun," Benedict said. "This can't be." Dr. Thagoras glanced at the robot. Any effect should have been just temporary. "Cypher runs on a very low voltage. Have you been exposed to any other sort of head trauma?" I thought back. "Well, we both got brain freeze." "Oh, dear." Dr. Thagoras said, "Give me a moment." He pulled a huge book from a shelf behind his desk and started flipping around to different pages. After a while, he shut the book. "That explains it. The zap should have faded, but the problem is the freeze made it permanent." "Permanent?" Benedict said. "You have to fix us," I said. Dr. Thagoras stared at me for a moment and then glanced down the hall. "Well, there's one thing that might work. If you can get through the test of, or if you can get through the test of the matheteria, that will reboot your skills. The reboot could be enough to overcome your freeze." He hopped off his stool and headed down the hall. "But how can we pass math tests if we can't do math?" I asked. "Anyone can do math inside the matheteria," he said. "It generates a special field that makes it easier for people to work with numbers." Really? Sorry, Kai's chewing a bone. Rude. It was designated to help people overcome their fears of math. I've never encountered numb brains before, but I'm pretty sure the field can handle even that. "I guess we'll find out in a minute." "And then we'll be fixed?" I asked. "Well, that's up to you," he said. "The effect will fade once you're outside the matheteria unless you pass the test." He followed him all the way to the end of the hall. He led us into a room that had a door on the left and a door on the right and a door at the far end, marked maintenance. Dr. Thagoras pointed at the door on the left. There was a bunch of plus and minus signs painted on it, circling the words give and take. "Step right in," he said. "Will this take long?" I asked. "My mom's waiting in the car." "No, not long at all. And really, it only takes 2 minutes." Great. That was a relief, even though I wasn't sure how long 2 minutes was. I stepped inside the room with Benedict. It was smaller than my bedroom, but a whole lot less messy. All I saw in it was a table with pads of paper and a bunch of pencils and a big cup. "So we'll be right out, unless you fail the exit exam," Dr. Thagoras said, "and then it could take hours to get you out. Maybe even days." That is the end of that chapter. So stay tuned for chapter 1 divided by 2 times 10. Talk to you then.